In 2012, former President Bill Clinton is quoted as saying, "The U.S. spent billions of dollars funding military operations in Colombia to cut cocaine coming into America." He's quoted as saying, "Well, obviously, if the expected results was we would eliminate serious drug use in America and eliminate narco-trafficking networks. It hasn't worked." The war on drugs is an American term commonly applied to a campaign of prohibition of drugs, military aid, and military intervention, with stated aim being to define and reduce the illegal drug trade. The United States has had a long history of drug prohibition dating as far back as 1919. The United States has passed the 18th Amendment, certifying on January 29th, which prohibited the sale, manufacturing, and transportation for alcohol for consumption at a national level. It was later repealed in 1933. In 1971, President Richard Nixon declared the war on drugs. He characterized the abuse of illegal substances as public enemy number one in the United States. In June 2011, the Global Commission on Drug Policy released a critical report on the war on drugs, declaring that the global war on drugs had failed, with devastating consequences for individuals, societies around the world. 50 years after the initiation of the UN Single Convention of Narcotic Drugs, and years after President Nixon launched the United States government war on drugs, fundamental reforms in national and global drug control policies are urgently needed. In 1994, the New England Journal of Medicine reported that the war on drugs resulted in the incarceration of 1 million Americans each year. In 2008, the Washington Post reported that 1.9 Americans were arrested each year for drug offenses. 500,000 would be incarcerated. In addition, 1 in 5 black Americans would spend time behind bars due to drug laws. This is important. Statistics from 1998 show that there are wide racial disparities in arrests, prosecutions, and sentencings. African American drug users made up for 35% of drug arrests, 55% of convictions, and 74% of people sent to prison for drug possession crimes. Nationwide, African Americans were sent to state prisons for drug offenses 13 times more than other races, even though they supposedly comprise of 13% of regular drug users. According to the 2008 study of the budgetary impact of ending drug prohibition published by the Harvard economist Jeffrey A. Milton, annual savings on law enforcement and incarceration costs from the legalization of drugs would amount to roughly $41.3 billion, with $25.7 billion saved among the states, and over $15.6 billion got accumulated for the federal government. In conclusion, many adults can safely use drugs, i.e. alcohol and tobacco are illegal. The problem isn't drugs, it's addiction, and its cost to society. If you want to pay fewer taxes, drop the war on drugs. We all know it doesn't work. It's time to try something else. Thank you.